Hello, and welcome back to the $2 Film Club. Today we are talking about the original Naked Gun movie, also called The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, I think. From the
Yeah,
files.
yeah, yeah. From the
From the
files of Police
files of
Squad.
Police Squad, yeah. Because as some might not know, this originally started as I think it was like a 10 episode series that aired on ABC. Trying to remember. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Do you know if it had Leslie Nielsen in it, right? Like he
Yeah,
still played Frank Drebin.
yeah.
Okay, was he the only one that was in it, or was like O.J. Simpson also in that? Because
No, so I think him and like the police chief were played by different actors. Trying
but
to
like their characters still existed.
kind of.
Ah,
So
damn.
Alan
What the
North
'80s?
played Ed Hawken, captain of police squad, and Drebin, superior officer. In the Naked Gun film series, the role was played by George Kennedy. And then, hold on, I'm trying to find it.
It's also just going to be really hard not to laugh just mentioning O.J. Simpson in general with
Yeah.
this. Just I don't know if hindsight with everything that unfolded makes all of his stuff funnier in this movie.
Mm,
But I can't imagine watching this back in 1988 and watch this be like, oh my god, bro, OJ Simpson, the football player. Because I don't know if you knew that he originally played football for the
yeah.
Lions, and so then he was the OG sports to actor archetype. I'm telling you. And look where it got him. Look where it got him, people.
So OJ Simpson is technically playing the character from the television show. It's just his name is a little different. In the television show, I think it's pronounced Norberg, and then they changed it to Nordberg in the movie for some reason.
I guarantee you they probably just thought it sounded a little bit dumber. I
Probably,
guarantee
yeah.
it.
But yeah, it's crazy because the movie just starts f- almost full force with OJ Simpson on the screen. Like there's like a prologue, kind of like James Bondish at the beginning of the movie, but then immediately we get into just OJ Simpson, and I completely forgot that he was in this movie, and it's hard to watch and not be like, oh, I wish you weren't in here.
Yeah, especially in like this type of film where it's a slapstick comedy where all these guys are just doing nonsensical things that make absolutely no sense just to see if it can make you laugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, obviously in retrospect, like you were saying, knowing that he's a convicted murderer, like it's odd to watch him like because the literally like the first scene that he's in, he gets um how do I say this? He gets attacked in a really like absurd way.
Well, can you even call it attacked? Because like most of the gag is like him overreacting to like a one hit. You know, it goes
Yeah,
from like one hit, and then he just like funnels himself throughout the entire room, and then out the window. And
yeah,
I'm just like, bro, what?
it's just really odd how like goofy it is, knowing like who the actual person is.
Yeah, it's just so weird. And I know, like, have you seen the trailer for the new one?
Yeah,
I just love the joke in the trailer where they're all like worshiping their fathers who have been in the police force, and then you get to Nordberg's character's son, and then he breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera and just shakes his head like, "Yeah,
nah.
I'm not." Like, nah, I'm not. Like that kills me, and I think that's what makes like it's hard to say he's a funny person, but like if we just dial it into this film, I think it works, especially with the hindsight of everything that comes after this film. Because have you seen the other two?
Not a lot. I've seen all of them. Like I saw them when I was really young, but I haven't seen them in so long that I honestly at this point, it's more like I'm rewatching them for the first time.
Yeah, I'd only ever seen this first one way back when I was younger, and I never saw the sequels until I thought we were doing the first three. And so, literally, his role is the exact same in every single fucking film, with maybe 5 minutes less of screen time.
Wait, he's in
And
all of them
yeah,
too.
he's
Oh my
in
god!
all of them, bro.
Fuck.
And they literally make a black joke. The last joke of the series is a black joke, where
Oh no.
Frank is in the wrong where like whatever those birthing rooms are in hospitals are called, they went into the wrong one, him and Nordberg, and the baby comes out black when Jane was in a different room and had his real baby. So Frank is chasing him like you fucked my wife. And I'm like, dude, this is such a weird way to end the franchise. For one, it being OJ Simpson, and then two, for a character who really plays no role in anything really outside of the first act of this film. Right? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, it's crazy how important his character is to the beginning of the plot. And then like he keeps coming back and they keep doing like this stuff of him like getting injured all the time. And it's funny, it's just you can't help but in the back of your head just be like, "Oh, but it's OJ Simpson."
yeah, right? Like that's what it always just keeps coming back to is you're like, wow, that's pretty funny. And then you think about it and you're like, oh, wait, that's OJ Simpson. You really think about it for a good second. You don't have to think very hard about it. But once it clicks in your head, it it makes you cherish that. I will say, I'm glad that he isn't as much of a character in this film and the rest as like I think people might think just by
Yeah.
mentioning that he is in all three. Um, so I think with his character also in particular, Nordberg is just very forgettable. So once he pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, you exist. So I can't really say it bugged me that he was in the film because I kept forgetting constantly that he was in the movie. So it honestly it didn't really bug me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking OJ Simpson, bro. Like, why? Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. I always every once in a while I hear something about OJ Simpson's acting career, like he was almost the Terminator or something or whatever.
Yeah,
And it's
bro.
just
It literally came down to him and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can you
could
believe that? I
could you
cannot believe
imagine?
that. I could imagine, and I don't want to keep imagining because that's such a weird what if situation, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think if OJ Simpson played the Terminator, none of James Cameron would have happened. That's my opinion, though. Right? But I
Yeah,
do
well,
find,
certain the Terminator franchise would not be going as strong as it is today.
well, I will say, I do find it funny that the Terminator role came down to two professional athletes turned actors. So
Yeah.
I wonder if that was like a thing James Cameron was looking for in the casting. Well, give or take, like bodybuilding and being on an absolute stupid amount of steroids is like, uh, it makes it more intimidating. But yeah, I cannot imagine OJ Simpson as the fucking Terminator.
Well, apparently neither could James Cameron because he thought he didn't look like a killer. Those are like the exact
Yeah, dude,
words
I
he
forgot that was the
used.
quote too. Is he didn't look like a killer?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what? That it just makes all this even crazier. Like,
Yeah. But anyways, getting away from from the topic of OJ Simpson. I mean, what yeah, I'm curious what you thought revisiting this movie. Probably for the I'm assuming the first time in a while.
well, I'm a really big fan of like the slapstick satire parody type films.
Mm,
Like I was mentioning before on Leslie Nielsen's resume, like I had not realized how many like fucking parody films he'd actually been in. Like I forgot he was in Airplane, which I know people will probably beat me up for. The superhero movie, fucking scary movie, like all of these like really big parody films that got me into parody films, and then to go back and realize that this guy who wasn't a monumental role in a lot of the films I just mentioned, but he had a lot of the big like highlight moments. Like he was always the funniest part of it. Like he played the Uncle Ben role in the superhero movie, and it was so. Have you ever seen that?
not the whole movie, but I've seen clips.
Dude, the scene where in the original Spider-Man where Uncle Ben's like putting in the ceiling the new light when Peter comes back from school after getting bit.
Hmm.
So in superhero movie, for some reason, he's using like a fucking nail gun to do it, and like Peter in the film like startles him, and then he turns around, full triggers at him, and Peter catches it right by his eye because of his spider senses, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, son," and then shoots himself in the foot. Like, I just love Leslie Nielsen, and I think he makes so much of what I think this first film and then the other ones Very. He's what makes them work. And honestly, I didn't realize these were PG-13. Now looking back at it,
Are they really? I didn't even
yeah.
check.
I'm looking at the IMDb, looking at like his filmography, and I went back to the Naked Gun page, and it said PG-13. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is PG-13. What?
That's kind of surprising.
This
I
is
mean,
crazy.
there's not a lot that I would say is really like
It's more of the like all the semi-offensive jokes, which like PG-13 in the time, yeah, it makes sense. I get it.
yeah.
Like I do also think that there's something weird about OJ Simpson, the one lead black character and main black character in the film, being the one slapstick comedy role in the film. Like he's not in any part of this film where he's not being like beaten up or he's not beating himself up. So I just thought that was interesting while watching, but
I think I
casual
yeah,
80s
I would
racism.
what's that?
Casual 80s racism. We're bringing it
Oh,
back, baby.
yeah, I would agree that Leslie Nielsen holds a lot of it together because he's really the only one that's doing a lot of the more absurd stuff, and everyone around him is more just playing it straight. But I think that's kind of what makes it work in highlighting how kind of absurd it is because everything else around him is kind of more like real life a little bit, but then he'll just say something like really random or kind of, I don't want to say offensive, but like,
Borderline.
yeah,
Borderline.
borderline, and then he'll just be like, "What the fuck?" But there's a lot of stuff like that, and almost every conversation he has with someone, he'll say something really stupid, and then I love when it like kind of cuts back to everyone around him, and they're kind of just like, "What did you just say?" Or like, "What?"
But like they're still taking it seriously at the same
Yeah,
time. Like I like that what Leslie Nielsen does in this film, like because I think it's really hard when you're the one non-straight guy, like not in like that way, but the one straight guy in a non-straight guy in a fucking party full of people just acting like you're not doing the most absurd shit on this planet. Like there's times where he'll like even break his own logic that I think adds a little bit more to like the comedic performance. Like there will be jokes or like there will be bits going on where like he'll even like look back and like almost shock where he's like, "Oh my god, is that really happening?" And you're sitting there like, "Why is this guy saying that?" Like he's doing like his girl's like looking at a fucking fake six-pack abs on him and shit. Like I those are the small moments that I think make this film really work on a comedic level, and I think make everyone else seem a little bit better. Because I'm not saying anyone's bad, because I think they're all really good in their roles. I don't think O.J. Simpson really does anything, or Ricardo Montalban, the guy who plays the villain Vincent Ludwig. I don't really think they did all too much, but like I think Priscilla Presley, their chemistry was really good, and I think his comedy helped raise that up a little bit. And you know what? I tend to get lost in not connecting to many of the characters in parody films, but I'm glad that at least Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley, they're able to make that work in a compatible way, because I feel like that's hard to do in these type of films with how absurd they are.
yeah. I kind of felt I was very surprised by how well the weird romance between him and what's her name, Spencer, I think, or something, Jane Spencer. Yeah,
Jane Spencer, yeah.
I was very surprised at how well that worked, and at the end of the movie, it becomes very important to ending the film because obviously she's sort of like mind controlled or hypnotized or whatever to like try and kill him, but then they have like that really, it's both silly but also heartfelt at the same time. Um, but
Yeah, they
yeah,
do
I
they do a good job making it like a quirky relationship without making it like go too far into what the rest of the film is doing.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, it's the other thing that I really like about this movie is that you can clearly tell what they're kind of like parodying. Like I mentioned earlier, like that prologue where he just randomly shows up at this meeting with all of like at the time like America's biggest like enemies and just like beats the shit out of them for
Yeah.
for like some random reason. Like I liked all of that. I think the writing is also one of the biggest strong points of this film because it takes a lot of like the tropes and cliches and works them in a really like natural but funny way.
I,
There were some other moments too.
I
Trying
like
to think
the
now.
opening bit with the police car when it's
Oh,
going through all the text. Like I couldn't figure out where I'd seen that from because it felt very like reminiscent of something, but I couldn't figure it out because I liked it. I can't say I enjoyed it by the third one though. It got kind of boring.
oh, do they do it for everyone?
They do it, yeah, it's like the shtick for the guys. It
I think it would make sense as like the intro to like a TV show,
yeah.
which it probably was. That's probably what it was. But yeah, I can see how like it's fine. It's kind of fine in this one, but it does go on for a little bit, especially after you've gone through like the whole prologue, and then all of a sudden, it's you're watching like this 5 minute title sequence of
Yeah,
just the
just like
car going through random places. I mean, it's funny. It's
it's funny,
just
but then it loses its
it.
funny factor really fast. That's the
Yeah,
thing
it,
with
it
it.
cuts through everything, and it kind of just starts to make you think like, what are we doing here? It does take a little bit for the plot to get off because you have that thing at the beginning that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. Then you have the title sequence, and you have OJ, getting shot and thrown off the boat. And then we come back to Leslie or Drebin coming back and whatnot. But that stuff's just structured weirdly. But everything else seems to kind of flow rather nicely, and I like the moments that they choose for all of like the comedy. And again, building off of like all those tropes and stuff. Like one of the things that I really liked was how everyone hates like the mayor character specifically. Like she really doesn't like Drebin,
Yeah,
and it's very reminiscent of like Dirty Harry and whatnot, where like all of these like superiors are like, we don't like the main character, the main detective or
he
whatever.
doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah, he
He
doesn't follow
plays
the
by
rules.
his own game.
But in this one, it's just because he's incredibly stupid
Stupid.
and he's constantly fucking
And
up.
everything he does just casually just kind of works out for him. Like
Yeah,
nothing he actually does is like a real effort.
yeah. But I don't know. There's a lot of like smaller like moments, like when he first meets Spencer and she like falls down the stairs, and they're kind of like badly flirting with each other. My favorite moment in the film is is their sex scene.
Oh, dude, it's so
It's
unserious. I was sitting there
so
like, dude, what?
that came on and I burst out laughing. I was like, "What the fuck? Who? I don't know who could have possibly imagined that, but they deserve like an award or something cuz that is probably one of the funniest gags I've ever seen in a movie. It's very easy to see why
Yeah,
this movie is considered like one of the greatest comedies of all time.
yeah.
And
No,
also
I
like
absolutely agree.
comparing this to another movie that I saw recently, I think it's called Police Academy.
Oh yeah, you just
Um
watched Police Academy for the first time. I haven't seen it in a
yeah,
while, but
and I
very
liked it for
similar.
what it was, but I definitely think this one's better. Um but yeah, I don't know. I think they came out at similar times too cuz Police Academy was 1984. This one's what 1988. So this one actually came out after that one. That's interesting. I don't know. I
Uh
just think this one
oh.
does a lot of like it's simple, but it does it so effectively. Like nearly every line of dialogue and every action is for the sake of the comedy, and it never really feels like it's overbearing the plot. I mean, not that there's much of a plot to begin with, but
No, I absolutely agree. Um, the one thing I was actually kind of shocked by when coming into this film was I really enjoyed the ending of this movie, like the entire third act. I don't know what about it that I found so entertaining, but I really enjoyed the fact that they shot this in the middle of a fucking baseball stadium. And
oh
like I think I appreciate a lot of the fact of how well they sell. They're in the middle of this stadium with like a fucking packed out place in the middle of like a World Series type game, and all this nonsense is going on. Like they do really good jobs at putting Drebin. Oh my god, bro! I just totally fucking did. I like did that sound as weird as it sounded to me when I said Drebin?
I don't think so.
Okay, because it sounded totally wrong in my head, but I'm neither here or there. I like how they put Drebin in all these different situations that just put him in the spotlight. Like he said what he sings the national anthem, right? But
Oh
he's standing
yeah.
next to the person singing national anthem in this one. Like it's so ridiculous. In the third one, they put him like announcing an Oscar award winner,
Are you
and
serious?
yeah, and the award itself is the bomb.
Oh
So
my
he's like
gosh.
trying to prevent them from announcing the winner because then it'll explode. And so it's like all those type of little things that they also do in this film that I really enjoy. And I'm trying to look up the production for this movie because I feel like this was a relatively easy in terms of production set that we've spoken about recently. Because I
I
feel like
mean,
a lot of the films we've spoken about.
I didn't hear anything about any like issues on set. The only thing that I can think of is that the actress who played the Queen, I'm trying to remember what her name is. Jeanette Charles. She said that Nielsen and Kennedy, I think. It was Nielsen and someone, or sorry. She said that Nielsen and Presley were quote unquote charming, but Simpson was quote unquote rude.
Yeah, see, that's like, so what?
Which,
Yeah,
again, knowing what we know now, doesn't
yeah.
sound too far off.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I can't really see too much of like stuff that went on with this movie. They made a video game called The Naked Gun ICUP. It was a point and click shooter that was in like arcade. No, not arcades. It was on iOS and like Windows.
Yeah.
So that's really. I just think that's really weird of all things to make a fucking point and click shooter for
Well, I think
this.
that game came out after Nielsen died,
Yeah, Nielsen
and
died in 2010, and this
yeah,
came
and I
out in
and I think
2012.
they like I can't. I think the character is like his son, which is interesting going into like the remake or not the remake, but the Legacy sequel that's coming out with
It's already
Neeson,
out,
Liam
sir.
Neeson.
It's already out, sir. Come on, get your dates
Okay,
correct.
you know what I mean though.
I'll fuck it with you.
And so that they all kind of went in the same direction of like, oh, let's do his son, which I think works. Like, I'm interested in seeing the new one. Like, it's been getting a lot of good reviews, and I don't think a lot of people associate Neeson in like comedic roles. Obviously, I've seen him like do kind of similar, or not similar character, but like characters that are lean more towards like the comedic side. But yeah, I think it's an interesting idea to cast him in the role of the a Drebin type character when he normally plays like these serious action heroes.
Yeah, I will say I found it quite funny. I did not expect going into this film and then the others, like expecting a Weird Al Yankovic cameo in all of them. Like
Oh,
I
is
don't,
he in all of them?
dude,
That's
he's
cool.
got a cameo in all of them,
Well,
and
see,
apparently he
the
has one in
thing.
the new one.
Well, I'm glad they're keeping the gag alive.
Yeah,
Apparently, in
right.
this one, they gave him a cameo because he was such a big fan of Airplane, and there was another Top Secret. I think it was that
Yeah.
he was a really big fan of those movies, and so they offered to give him a cameo.
Dude, I was watching this. I'm like, what the fuck is Weird Al Yankovic doing here, bro? What? So good. So good.
There's just so many nuggets of like good comedy. I mean, not all of the jokes land as well, but there's a lot of moments where they're like really good, and you kind of just sit back and be like, "Damn, they don't make movies like this anymore."
No, I think that's why like I'm so excited for like this new scary movie that they're making too, and like the new Naked Gun that just came out is I feel like parody is kind of coming back a little bit, and I don't know why, and I'm all for it because I love parody films. I
I
just
mean,
think
there's so many
there's
things to parody
That's what
nowadays.
I'm saying. There's so many things that they could do. Like that's why I think the new Naked Gun's going to be ridiculous. And bro, I cannot even begin to think how fucking insane this new scary movie is going to be with the Wayne brothers coming back.
Hmm.
Like, it's going to be funny. And this is exactly what they need to be. And I think that's what this new one is. It feels like it's going back to the roots of what this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any final thoughts before we get into our final? I was gonna say rankings because we've been doing rankings a lot, but no, your final ratings for this film.
I don't know. I feel like this is gonna probably be the shortest episode that we've ever done
Well,
because there's not a lot to say about this movie. I mean,
the
it's really
plot is
funny.
very minimal too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like you were saying, like there's not a lot to most of the characters. Like the chief played by Kennedy doesn't really have much going on. We don't really get a good insight into the private lives of any of the other characters either. I like what's his name? Fuck, no, I can't remember his name. Ricardo Montalban as
Vincent.
Ludwig. That again going. It feels like a commentary on like or a parody on like the James Bond villains, and he even has like a weird like hypnosis gadget and all that stuff. That's really funny, and it's. I mean, I've seen him in other stuff too. Like obviously, a lot of people know him as like Khan from Star Trek, but I saw him as the grandfather from Spy Kids, and I just find it really funny to like. This is kind of like a weird in between of both of those movies for him.
Yeah,
But I think they're all doing like good jobs, like you said. It's just there's not there. It feels wrong to like nitpick this movie like we do with a lot of the other ones because it's not really trying to be overly serious or anything. You're kind of just meant to sit back and watch and just be like, this is a funny ride.
yeah. No, I absolutely agree. Like you said before, like it's just comedy after comedy, and I think that's all this film really needs to be. It doesn't need
Yeah,
to be anything more than that, but I still think it manages a way to make us care about certain characters and their relationships where I feel like other parodies usually don't, which I think
yeah,
is what makes this one feel a little bit more like a classic and why people I think go back to it, along with why they made a legacy sequel for it. Is it's just a banger film, and all the jokes just are timeless, and it feels like anyone 100 years ago, 100 years from now, could probably watch this film and get it and laugh at it. You
yeah,
know, there's just something in it for everybody. I think for all ages too, and it is nice because while we were discussing, like, yeah, there's a lot of jokes that are borderline for 1988. I definitely think it's a lot more self-contained than I think it could have been,
yeah,
especially for like some of the people stereotypes that like you we meet along the way that the film could have gotten messy really fast, especially for nowadays, and I don't think it could have held up as well, but I think it does a really good job at not beating you over the horn with all of like that stuff, and it's just a really good time that I'm going to come back to.
yeah.
All right, Leo, with our short episode done this week, what are we watching next week?
Well, we got to do our ratings.
Oh yeah, I forgot about ratings. Okay, bro, give us the rating, and then we'll go to what we're talking about next week.
All right, I didn't do a review. I just gave it a 3.5. But yeah, I think it's a really solid movie. It's funny, and like you said, it's fun to go back and rewatch. And I'm looking forward to watching the other two, and then the most recent one.
Yeah, I agree. I give it a 2.5 out of 5,
That
just because
low?
I don't think it's that low. I think it's right in the middle. I think it's a film that does exactly what it needs to, but at the same time, I'm not looking at this film like it's not deep. It's not trying to say anything. I just don't think it deserves to be any higher than like a 2.5, 3 maybe.
Mm,
Just because of how much there isn't in this, like jokes and all that can get you so far.
yeah.
You know that's my viewpoint. That's why I think I've liked the sequels a lot less because they're more or less just what this film is, shown in different forms. You
Mm,
know, it's the same characters doing a lot of not a lot of the same jokes, but they come back to some of them. Um, But yeah, that's why I think 2.5 is a perfect grade for this, just because it does exactly what it needs to. I fucking laughed, and for an hour and 25, it does feel like it overstays its welcome a little bit, which isn't always the best thing to say about a film sometimes. But yeah, I didn't leave a review too because I feel like I can't say anything as funny as what was in this film. All right, Leo,
Yeah.
are we ready to talk about what we're watching next week now?
Yes. So next week we are talking about Barbarian because the movie Weapons is coming out. I
Fuck
what
yeah, baby!
his name's what, Zach Krieger.
Zach Krieger!
Yeah, the new Zach Krieger movie is coming out, so we're gonna look at his earlier work in Barbarian. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things about it, so
Oh, dude, I
we
can't wait.
are going
I
to
cannot
take a look at
wait.
that. Didn't he have another movie that came out recently, or am I just?
No, it's only weapons and barbarian. I think he did a short before barbarian, but no, he's just made those two. I'm
Oh,
fucking
he
excited
produced
for
Companion.
weapons.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he produced that.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm glad he just produced it.
You didn't like it?
I definitely think the film itself, people gave it a lot more credit than I think it should have.
Hmm.
Like, oh, the twist of it being an AI robot. Like, bro, are you guys serious? The film just spoiled it right off the rip in the trailers. And the movie's literally called Companion. But I guess putting two and two together is very difficult. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see you guys next week when we read and review, even though we're not reading anything. It just sounds better coming off my lips. When we read and review Zach Krieger's Barbarian. I tried really hard not to say weapons right there.
We will see you guys next time.